Okay. This is an updated tutorial video for Super Joe, which I think I have a better lineup, and I'm gonna explain a little bit of the timing because I think the timing is precise if you are at 300 FPS maximum. Um, so this is just gonna expand upon my first part of this tutorial. So I want to talk about the FPS. Um, this can work at different FPS values, like even your upper and your lower. What I've found is that at 350 FPS, you start having a chance of overshooting it by quite a bit, I would say. Maybe maybe you do it at 300 as well, but for me, it's been pretty consistent. And my lower at 18 has been really, really consistent as well. So, what we're gonna do is when we get up here, it's very, very close to what we did before. We still have these two hangers, but instead, we have this kind of. It's harder to see on my screen, but we have a triangle on the left. Basically have like a triangle, and we're gonna just put our plasma cutter right in the middle of this kind of diamond um, thing right here. Now, before we go, when we get on the ceiling here, where we want to aim our plasma cutter is we want to aim it at this gray line right here. And the way that we do that is we're not going to move forward until our plasma cutter has reached that gray line, and then we start moving forward. Don't try to like adjust by moving forward and then untoggling. Not just try your best to stay on the ceiling and let Isaac move himself over to that gray line. Cap, and then as straight as we can, and then we move forward. And this might be too much, but once we walk off of the ledge, this is a new adjustment that I've made. We're gonna stop holding forward. We just let go of W entirely, but we still spam Kinesis until this is another adjustment that I've made. Until our plasma cutter, there's like this gray line. Once our plasma cutter gets right above that, then we stop. Oh, that was too fast. Then we stop and we turn around. And that's when we'll start the actual process of the launch. Okay, so now I'm there. I'm going to go forward. I stop. Okay. Now I'm going to turn around. I'm going to uncap. And we're going to fast pause. And here's what we're going to do. We fast pause until the very first instance of Isaac's feet popping up. We're going to cap, and then we pause, and then when we uncap our FPS is the minute that we don't see Isaac on the screen anymore. So let me try and do this. There. Well, that didn't quite work. That's a good angle. It just wasn't quite far enough. I think the timing was off. I think I was a little bit too early on that. So let me try it again for you here. I'm going to try the same thing and see if I can make this work. But I think this angle with this setup, it gives you the right tilt that you want every single time. So then oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Uh-oh. Well, we're gonna try this. Okay, that might work, actually, funnily enough. Oh! Oh, very, very close. That was so close. So yeah, that's not quite the, I messed up my inputs there, but that was very close, funnily enough. That's about the distance that you need in order for this to work. I just think the angle was very slightly off there, so I didn't go far enough to the left. Okay, there we go. So then oh. Okay, so I can tell right away this will not work. I'm too far. My angle's too far to the right. That'll happen if you're standing too far to the left on the ceiling. So you want to make sure that if that happens, you can just restart and just try again. Oh, same thing. So we're going to restart. Okay, interesting. There we go. Okay. Like that. That'll work. There we go. Yeah, so once I got the timing right, which is I think when Isaac pops, or he comes off of the screen, That's when you uncap your FPS. And then what I actually like to do is I like to cap my FPS again because I think it does give you a little bit more distance. And if you get that specific distance of launch, if you're just like an inch too short, it won't work. But if you're a little bit too far, it'll probably still work. So that's my updated tutorial. I think it does a much better job of explaining how to get the proper tilt. The distance, I think it's better. I still think there are some things to be ironed out, especially like the exact moment that you want to pause and unpause and uncap. It's really, really tricky. But I kind of have a feel for it. I think the main thing right now is to just try it a little bit yourself. See if you can get the tilt first. That's the most important. And then I would really recommend using this overlay mod, by the way, in order to see if your angle is correct or not. You can see if your angle is right. If you're above the checkpoint, like if Isaac's model is above it all the time, even if you're too far or even if you undershoot, that's still what you want, because then at that point it's a timing thing. So yeah, I hope this makes a little bit more sense. Good luck.